Donald and Melania Trump may now be celebrating 20 years of marriage, but their journey to the altar wasn't exactly smooth sailing. Like any relationship, theirs had its fair share of bumps, some pretty dramatic ones too. Let's dive into the roller coaster that marked the early days of their romance.
What was it that you saw in Donald when you met him or fell in love with him?
His mind, amazing mind.
It all started in 1998 at a New York Fashion Week party. Melania Knaus, a stunning Slovenian model, caught Donald Trump's eye. The twist? He approached her while his date was conveniently in the bathroom. Yes, his date.
I was actually supposed to meet somebody else, and there was this great supermodel sitting next to Melania. I was supposed to meet this supermodel, and they were saying, look, there's so-and-so. I said, forget about her. Who's the one on the left? And it was Melania.
Melania, clearly unimpressed, refused to give him her number. Instead, she took his, leaving him to wait for her call. Bold move, right?
So he asked me for the number, and I said, I will not give you my number. So if you give me your numbers, I will call you.
But that was just the beginning. When things finally heated up between them, Melania walked into Donald's apartment one day, ready for a trip to Mar-a-Lago, only to be greeted by an unexpected sight. Donald's ex-girlfriend, Kara Young, strolling out. Imagine the audacity. According to Ronald Kessler's book, The Trump White House, Changing the Rules of the Game, Melania wasted no time. She dumped Donald on the spot, reportedly saying, "Screw that. I don't care about all his billions of dollars. I am breaking up." She even called Trump's butler to have her clothes shipped back. Talk about a power play.
Yeah, it made me angry.
But here's the twist. Donald wasn't about to let her go that easily. Within a week, he had managed to win her back. According to his butler, Tony Senecal, when she came back, I just carried her suitcases back into the mansion, laughing. It seems Melania's fiery spirit only made Donald more determined to keep her.
It was my decision. I think was just the time. I think was the right time.
But the drama wasn't over yet. Fast forward to 2000, and the couple hit another snag. This time, Donald was making his first foray into presidential politics, trying to secure the Reform Party nomination. During that whirlwind, the two called it quits. Donald even went on record with the New York Times, calling Melania an amazing woman and saying she would be missed. But let's be honest, he wasn't missing her for long. By February of that same year, Donald had dropped his political ambitions for the time being and was spotted with Melania by his side again. Their relationship may have had its ups and downs, but those challenges seemed to only strengthen their bond. And soon enough, in April 2004, Donald popped the question at the Met Gala. It was a great surprise. "We are very happy together," Melania told the New York Post at the time. They tied the knot in January 2005 at Mar-a-Lago.
Were you nervous?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
A year later, their son Barron was born in March 2006. It seemed like the perfect family picture, but with Trump, you know there's always more to the story. So, just 4 months later, adult film star Stormy Daniels claimed she and Trump had a sexual encounter.
I came out of a bathroom to find myself cornered. I don't remember how I got on the bed. It was awful, but I didn't say no.
And that's not all. Playboy model Karen McDougal alleged an affair with Trump that started in June 2006, right around Barron's birth. Trump, of course, denies everything.
It's fake, phony, fake.
And it doesn't stop there. Multiple women have accused Trump of sexual harassment or assault during his relationship and marriage to Melania. People's Natasha Stoynoff alleged that Trump pushed her against a wall and forced a kiss on her when she went to Mar-a-Lago to interview him and a very pregnant Melania in December 2005. Miss USA and Miss Universe contestants also reported harassment and assault by Trump in 2006. Trump has denied all these allegations.
I have great respect for women. Nobody has more respect for women than I do.
So for the record, you're saying you never did that?
Things. No, I have not.
Despite all this drama, Melania has stood by Trump's side. Through the 2016 presidential campaign, his 4 years in office, and the various investigations post-presidency, she's been there.
To be with the man as my husband is, you need to know who you are. You need to have a very independent life as well and supporting him.
But don't think she's always on board with him. Melania once said, "I don't always agree with what he thinks, and I tell him that. I give him my honest opinion and honest advice.
I'm my own person, he's his own person, and I think that's very important. I don't want to change him, he doesn't want to change me.
Interestingly, Melania seemed to vanish from public view whenever Trump's alleged affairs made headlines. In February 2018, she skipped the traditional walk across the White House's South Lawn to Marine One after the New Yorker's report on the McDougal affair. She also largely disappeared from public engagements with Trump after the Daniels news broke in January 2018.
And a guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl, it'd be a shame if something happened to her mom."
Trump, always ready to defend his marriage, brushed off Stormy Daniels's and his ex-lawyer's drama as fake stuff and said it's tough when the spotlight is on Melania too. Meanwhile, Melania and Barron stayed out of the public eye during the trial.
I like to keep it life as normal as possible for my son Baron, and I'm a full-time mom, and I love it.
Stormy Daniels has even suggested that the Trumps might not share a bedroom. I don't know what their agreement may or may not be, but Melania needs to leave him, she said. Ouch. Looks like the Trumps can never catch a break.
And you know as well as I do that if he hadn't, that it was not, that I was lying, he'd have whipped his junk out a long time ago and proved that I was a liar. And
actually, Trump's 3 marriages have always been accompanied by controversy. And here's a juicy bit. He actually cheated on his first wife with the woman who would later become his second wife. And guess what? The boomerang effect hit hard. She allegedly cheated on him right back. Now, let's take a closer look back at this scandalous chapter in Trump's life.
Donald always had a great head on his shoulder, and I saw the potential of it.
They tied the knot on April 9th, 1977 in New York City. And during their honeymoon in Mexico, Ivana became pregnant with their first child. On December 31, 1977, their son Donald Jr. was born. The couple went on to welcome 2 more children, Ivanka in 1981 and Eric in 1984. A picture-perfect marriage, right? But wait.
He did not know how to speak to them in the children way of thinking.
However, their seemingly perfect marriage hit the rocks in 1989 when Ivana discovered Donald's affair with model Marla Maples.
Did you see warning signs? I really didn't. I really didn't.
It all happened during the family's annual holiday trip to Aspen. Ivana ran into Maples outside a restaurant, with patrons and the rest of the family watching. Ivana wrote, "This young blonde woman approached me out of the blue and said, 'I'm Marla, and I love your husband. Do you?' I said, 'Get lost. I love my husband.' It was unladylike, but I was in shock."
We were actually standing near the restaurant, getting ready to put skis on. And I was standing there like an idiot. And Marla and Ivana were here. And there wasn't shouting, but you could obviously see there was some friction.
Turns out this affair had been going on for years.
Do you think unless the two had actually come face to face, you would have confronted that situation?
Well, it's interesting because it's possible that, maybe it would still be going on. I'm not sure.
The affair made headlines, and in March 1990, Ivana officially filed for divorce, resigning from the Trump Organization a few months later.
In my case, it was just so clear, and the trust was broken so badly that I knew that it was just no way it could be patched.
Maples and Donald continued to date on and off, and in 1993, she became pregnant with their first child. Their daughter Tiffany was born on October 13, which Maples later called the greatest unplanned surprise of all. Despite Donald previously saying he had no plans to get married again, the couple decided to tie the knot shortly after Tiffany's birth, on December 20th, 1993.
We really anticipated getting married and having a baby, not having a baby and getting married.
So why didn't you marry her right away when you found out she was pregnant? Why did you
Indecision.
The pair remained married for 3 years before separating in May 1997. Maples later explained the split, saying that they differed on how they viewed the world and how they wanted to raise their child.
So I think you always hope in a marriage that you can bring out the best in each other. But after many years, we realized we weren't.
Now, do you think it was worth it for Melania to give their relationship another chance? Was the journey through all those ups and downs a stepping stone to their lasting marriage? Or do you think the challenges hinted at deeper issues? Share your thoughts.